Okay, so today is September 10, tomorrow is September 11, and then I'm going to be talking today about AI real-time patterns. My name is Sergey Savastyuk. I have a PhD in applied mathematics. I used to teach at Santa Clara University and then started here in Silicon Valley few companies, and now Tickeron is one of my companies, which really doing what I used to do myself. While I'm working in other technology company, I was trading and in parallel creating some algorithms. So what you see here is some of my ideas, which turn out to be possible to program, because my background was in artificial intelligence, game theory, and had a lot of math stuff here, which you're going to be able to access, okay? So about Tickeron, a few words, and if you've been at this type of a presentation, people say disclaimers. Our disclaimer a little bit unusual because we are SEC registered company. So from that perspective, we are not a regular company which can tell you all kinds of BS. What it means BS, in this business, people which are not, or companies which are not registered, they can tell you all kinds of things. And if they cross the line, invisible line, they can be sued. So for instance, Online Trading Academy being sued by Federal Trade Commission for misleading consumers while they were teaching $50,000 courses, training courses, and they were misleading people and they were sued. And I don't know what's going on, but that's a lot of turmoil right there because they were crossing the lines, okay? So then we are registered and there are companies which are not registered. So how to find out whether or not the company is CC, like a FINRA registered? What you have to do is to find form ADV part 2. If you find that form, then it's a trustworthy company because they are really under the guidelines of ACC. If you cannot find such form, they can tell you anything. Typically, any testimonies are made up. For instance, we cannot even write the testimonies, or even if we have them, we cannot show them. Okay, there is a lot of guidelines. Here's an example of a company, Betterment, and then here's the form ADV part 2. If you click, you can read. You can find the same form at our website. Typically, it is in a general information, and all our disclaimers actually here, and in a lot of other things for companies which are registered. It's much better organized and trustworthy. Okay, so this is a formal part, and why you're here, because you really want to find out about algorithms. So you have to know that a lot of trades by big players, hedge funds, are made by their algorithms, computers. Quite a lot of them with AI, some of them not, but you guys up to against quite a serious players. And my analogy is that you can you can have, let's say, basketball league, like a high school league, and there is a professional league. Okay, so when you play in this league of colleges or high school, then you kind of playing with the similar players, and then if you try to play against the professionals, you're going to lose. Okay, the trouble with trading is you always play against professionals. Okay, so if you are not using any kind of a technology, then you might lose, and then the troubles might happen. For instance, here's an example, like 170,000 Robinhood investors got stuck in one stock. Why? Because they didn't look at our website, and they didn't look that we were saying sell, 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 and they were buying, 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 right? I don't know whertz going on with Hertz these days, but it was bankrupt company. and quite a lot of people got stuck there. In order to avoid that, you have to find places where you can check and test whether or not the technology is working, okay? That's what we have. We have, let's say, paper trading, right? Where you can get an idea from us, make a record in a paper trade in one click, and then see if it worked out well, okay? So that's the difference between us and any other website. You can test our technology first. Okay, so what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna talk about the patterns, and I'm gonna be talking about real-time patterns, so the way we generate them, okay? But for that reason, I have to create for you some foundation. I don't know how much you know, but I'm gonna start from like zero. I'm gonna tell you what is a trading plan is, what are the odds of success, and what is the instant trend group analysis. And then I will tell you what is the difference between AI robots as our product and AI RTP, real-time patterns I'm going to be talking today, okay? Then I'm going to go to the history about our pattern search engine, and I will connect all the pieces together, and you will then have a clear understanding how to use all these products, okay? So now, let's start from basics, and then I will talk about robots and RTP and all this stuff. Okay? So what is the trading plan? Trading plan, it's your mental model when you're trying to buy something or to sell something. And the mental model could be very simple. The stock goes up, and then you write here, and you decide the stock is going to continue to go up. It's going to be like a trend continuum, okay? Then it's on a dip. What it means goes up, a little bit down, like right now. People looking at the market, there's a lot of dips. But I can tell you the problem with the dips untested is that when there was an internet bubble, I can tell you what was happening, how it burst. Big players were selling, right? Selling right here. And then like minor or like small players were buying, but then the big sellers selling again. So small players typically buy, and then if it's really downturn, it keeps going down with the small dips, but still down. So this is a kind of important how to verify if it's going to work, and I will show you how we verify that it's going to work. Okay. Another concept, breakout, goes up, and then you buy only when it crosses particular price line. If you don't buy here, you don't buy here, you buy only right here. And that's how the patterns are organized, okay? That's what I'm gonna tell you, how we find the patterns and how to buy on a breakout, okay? Trend reversal, that goes down, and then most of the beginners trying to find this particular point, and I was trying many years myself, try to this point to make most of the money right here. And I will tell you, this is the point where you can lose most of the money, okay? Why? Because in most cases, it goes down, could have a little bit of a dip in the opposite direction, and then keeps going down, okay? So what is the tip number 2? The good way to lose money is to try to find trend reversals, okay? I really warn you to be very careful, okay? And not to try to do that. And try to do first, without paper trade, without really losing money, try a different approach, okay? And I will tell you how we do that. First, you have to know what was happening in the similar situations before, okay, similar cases. So for instance, it is a deep kind of set of mind, right? And you think, okay, what happened with a similar stock on a deep, let's say, some time ago? That's called backtesting. You go back and find similar cases and check what happened. So this one was success, this one went down, failure, success, 3 out of 4, 75% odds of success, okay? So typically when you have any idea, you have to test it, whether or not it worked out well in the past. And that's what the computers do. Typical software where you can have is going to force you to do the following. Even if you do the back testing, you do it in the following way. You kind of create an idea or create a signal or system of signals, and then you press the button and it gives you the results of the back testing. In our case, it's different again. What we do, we run all kinds of like millions of different strategies and give you ideas only when the odds of success are good. If they're not good, we just don't show you. Why to bother to go? Because there are too many ideas, and our problem is to reduce there, not to increase. Okay. So, what are the backtesting results at Tickeron? Odds of success, which are percentage of outcomes which confirm successful trade signals in the past. That's how we use that terminology. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the trend trading. Okay. You would have seen on TV this winter sport where one person goes in this half pipe kind of from one direction to another direction. Okay. And then if you look at this, there's some elements of inertia in this movement. And then if it is a stock, we don't buy here, we don't buy here, we don't even don't here. We buy only when we have enough of inertia to fly. We fly, we get our profit, and we get out, okay? So that's the difference between trending and then trying to find the trend reversal. You see, is that enough of inertia to go here? There's no inertia whatsoever. There's more inertia to go down or this way rather than this way, okay? There's no inertia. What we do in our software, we're trying to find from physical standpoint, we train our neural networks to go to the direction and then have the chances to really go there, okay? For this reason, we have neural network for finding trends or finding patterns. So I'm going to be talking about these breakouts today, okay? So going back to here and then here, right? So trend trading. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to find trend, and then we buy if it is going up. If the trend goes down, we sell or sell short, okay? That's the main idea. We do not predict in this AI algorithms long-term forecasts. We're looking at a week, a month maximum. We don't know what's going to happen after that because it's too long and it's too hard to predict. But we can, from technical and fundamental perspective, make some calculation, train neural networks, and they're going to find for us good opportunities. And one of the elements which being checked primarily by the big hedge funds, and they checking the groups, okay? So you've seen, for instance, lately in the market, if the entire market goes down, it's very hard to find stocks which are moving up, right? Why? Because there is a herd mentality, group mentality. Like for instance, in this herd. So if there is somebody is going to scare them from that side, all of them move to this direction, particularly the one inside, right? There's no way for this guy to go to the opposite direction. Why? Because the group takes it to the direction. So what we do in our proprietary part, we analyze where the group goes. We split it in some of the industries or the themes or indices, and we'll look at this. We'll look at this herd is consisting of the correlated stocks, and then we say, okay, if the group is moving this direction, then our stock has better chances to move to this direction. In our case, up and down, right? So what we are here preaching is, on top of analyzing individual stock, we're analyzing groups. And that's one of our feature, okay? In order to analyze the groups, you have to have thousands of computers to really run all the calculation related to the correlation. Correlation is kind of a similarities, right? And run all the comparison. And that's what we do for our premium subscribers, okay? So let's talk about the patterns, okay? So what are the patterns? Patterns are the shapes which really represent the psychology and price action on the market. And there is a special type of thinking, this one pattern called head and shoulders, okay? So what it means the price comes kind of down a little bit, and then the buyers want to buy, okay? And then the steel sellers thinking, no, it's kind of not a good stock, we're gonna sell it, they sell it. And then the buyers say, no, actually we like that stock, we're gonna go and buy it. What was happening, there is a kind of invisible line can be formed. And what happens if it goes to the third attempt and gets to this line, we call it breakout line. You remember I told you about the patterns and the breakout lines? So our software finds this type of patterns, okay? And then I'm gonna click here. This is also head and shoulders. Why it's head and shoulders? Because this is a head, this is a two shoulders in the kind of bullish version of this pattern. In a bearish version, it looks like more. This is a head, these are the shoulders, right? So what happens that depending on the, let's say, width of this pattern, and depending on the height and the depth of this pattern, we can find this moment of the entry. We call it entry point, and this is the exit point, okay? And there are a lot of psychological effects. And these graphs are similar to the graphs you can see it in ECG when a doctor looks at your heart chart and says, oh, I have a problem with the valve, right? Why? Because the valve, these charts representing the behaviors. So the patterns, they are also representing behaviors, and it's enough to find them. Then go back to the history, check whether or not this particular pattern worked well with this particular stock. Gather the statistic, and they say, oh, okay, the confidence level, the odds of success are such that they're going to work out well for us. It's never going to be 100%, but if it is better than some particular numbers, then it's great. So what we're going to see from this theory in practical applications that we're finding this point and then getting to this point, which is a target price. So this is your profit, potential profit. What's going to happen afterwards when it crosses this line? We have no idea. Okay, but we know there is a good chance, good odds to get to this line. And all our statistics is about reaching that calculated line. Even if it doesn't hit the 1 or 2 cents, we still consider it's a failure. So in our cases, even if the pattern is a failure, then it doesn't mean anything because you still can make money. But we, from mathematical perspective, represent it as if it is supposed to cross that line. Then we consider that pattern succeeded, okay? So what we have is these tools. So these are the robots, okay? And these are the tools. So in order to find real-time patterns, as you can see, there are 3 types of them. This is separately for Forex, separately for cryptos, and separate for stocks and ETFs, and this is the real-time patterns, okay? So here we can click and then see what's going on here, okay? There is a customization button you can use to customize it, okay? So as you can see, this is the time frames. You can select only 5 minutes patterns, 30 minutes time frame, like 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, and 1 day, okay? Then you can select the stocks different categories or very specific tickers, okay? You can include ETFs and the pattern types. You see, this is all the pattern types. And then if you want to get push notifications, you have to click here, okay? And then save. So you can click these patterns. I will talk about these patterns. I'll just kind of make a brief presentation, okay? So what is the time frame? Time frame is a point on this chart. Some of the chart represented in candles or the points, okay? In, let's say, Robinhood, it's just point, they don't sketch the candles, okay? And then what happens, it does find this pattern and then presents what? Let's look at that one, okay? So as you can see, it is a special type of patterns, and it's gonna look for the breakout point and the target price. As you can see, breakout, you see quite a lot of people finding these triangles, but they don't know that the real breakout point is right here, not when it crosses the triangle, but here, okay? Then this is a potential profit, and that's what we give in this feed. As you can see, breakout entry price, okay? And this is the exit price. This one goes up, so that means this particular, it's kind of a very small stock, which you can exclude, penny stock, this one at 193, okay? So I'm just trying to give you a brief introduction. I will go deeper, but I wanted to tell you that when we built that engine and tested for quite a long time, people told us, oh, okay, we have to set up these time frames, we have to customize, we have to select the patterns, we have to read about them, you see. Then we said, okay, we can build robots. What it means robot? Okay, I'll show you. You see, these robots which we released, we have built on top of these RTP, real-time patterns. So what they do, they finding for you these patterns, and quite often they are finding in a specific algorithm, which is described right here. Let's look. So what it does use RTP, use 311 stocks. You see time frame 4 hours, confidence level 60%, okay? And the stop equals to the half of a target price, okay? So target price, you know what it is already, right? So it's a potential profit. What we do, we put a stop, which is half of this profit, and then you see the results, okay? So as you can see, this is a statistic. It's a paper trade, right? Paper trade for the robot. So average profit is about $600. Average loss about half of that, right? So that's exactly what a typical trader has to achieve. Annualized return is about 170%, and it's been trading for 83 days, this particular robot. And as you can see here are open trades. As you can see, this one is still holding couple of positions. One is made 11%, another made 3%, and lost on one so far, and which is good. This is the open trades. In order to use this robot, you have to click at open, and then it's going to be useful table locked, and it's going to show you the exit at the time when it's going to exit. Okay, here's the close trades. Okay. And if you click here, you can analyze where the money was made, how much money was made, and there's a lot of other things. Like, for instance, you can see what tickers made you money, which tickers lost you money, and you can analyze that robot with the close trades, okay? So what I'm saying is that we used this real-time pattern engine, okay, in order to build robots on top of them, which are gonna take into account everything I'm gonna tell you now, okay? So now, imagine I'm kind of a robot and I'm having a feed. If you remember, that was customized for what? For 4 hour, okay, time frame. So all patterns are gonna be coming for 4 hours. You see, here it's about 4,700 stocks. we reduce to the stocks which are working well on 4 hours, right? So we do not have in this particular robot, I showed you ETFs, okay? And we did use at this moment all patterns, okay? And all bullish and all bearish. And we clicked save, okay? Then, let me see it again. You see, it is the confidence level. In this particular case, it's a 0% confidence. If you remember description, we put it 60%, okay? And click that save, okay? Plus, we used, so you see, now you're getting signals. These signals are going to be similar to what are going to be in a robot, okay? So now I have 3 questions I'm going to try to answer. Is there a way to filter the patterns by volume? Yeah, that we get in these questions. Yes, it's a good question. I did get that literally lately. Yes, we're going to introduce by volume, but what you see what happens that here we didn't put that volume filter. We will do that, but in the robot we kind of did that manually. The reason we did that to reduce that to 300 stocks, right? Just to solve some other problems. So there are other criteria we used in robots. And here we were not able to kind of put all potential filters which are good. So what we did in robots, we incorporate some other stuff like group analysis, this and that. Here it's just an engine, okay? So if we start introducing here too many features, then it's going to be kind of too complicated. But for volume, yes, we might do that. But for other proprietary stuff, it's quite difficult. So what we do, we kind of get these signals, get on top of that a little bit of additional proprietary stuff like a group analysis, some other things, and then present them in the form of these trades, okay? So you see? So these trades are being taken from RTP and placed right here based on filters like a volume and some other things and some other criteria, okay? So let's go back to the theory a little bit, okay? So if you don't know hell of a lot about the patterns, okay, I strongly recommend you to go back to our history and look at this pattern search engine. That's where we started. This pattern search engine was built for the end of day data. Then we move to intraday, okay? So here's quite a lot of interesting patterns. So for instance, one of them is, like, I like that one, and a lot of people like that one, cap and handle, right? So what is the psychology here? It's a kind of stock gets to that point, then bounces, and then kind of gets again. It cannot make it through on this big loop, right? Cannot, just trying to. Then the sellers say, oh, okay, we want to really push it down, but they stop above the 0.2, 0.4 above, and then they're getting right here. I can tell you, as soon as it's crossing that point, this is quite a lot of anxiety that I lost an opportunity to go here, and the people jump. And then what we do, we calculate this breakout for you, and then calculate the potential profit, target price, and then present the patterns. So what we did a lot of studies. And that's where you can study that here too as statistics. So you have to understand, there's a concept of emerged patterns and the confirmed patterns. Emerged pattern is actually right here at the 0.4 where the shape is there, okay? When it crosses this line, it's becoming confirmed pattern because it is a more kind of powerful energy when it crosses this line, and right here you buy, right? So what we did, we collected the statistic over the years, and this is a number of patterns which were discovered for this particular pattern. Then if you take and kind of analyze that data and see that if you select 70%, that 73% of all patterns reach the target price. With the distance to target, with the potential profit, 5%, if you say, I need 7%, you see, it's a fewer patterns, but the statistic is also amazing, right? Not all patterns are created equal. So what you can do here is to study and learn the psychologists, for instance, channels, right? Flags, I like flags. When you see it's kind of, you've seen on the stock, it's kind of jump very high, and then like some hibernating right here, right? And then boom, if it crosses this particular line, I remember being here quite often, like boom, it jumps right here. What we did, we also analyze these patterns, and there's fewer of them, but if you kind of get to the confidence higher, yeah, it's for 5%, maybe for the smaller numbers, it's better, okay? So what we have here is really a learning mechanism. And the pattern search engine, it's more like for the swing trades, not for intraday trades, not for the day trading. So you see rectangular patterns, pennants, all of these charts you could see on other website, but nobody has done as much we've done to analyze the history of this and analysis of the statistic, okay? So you see, this is analysis, and then boom, you come here and you say, okay, if I want 80%, you see how few, and 80% with the confidence get to the target price, okay? So there are some powerful patterns. So what my recommendation is to, if you are not familiar too much with the pattern, study the statistic, get yourself familiar with the psychology of the patterns. Then come to this real-time pattern for stock ETFs. If you trade cryptos, you can get to the cryptos or for Forex, okay? Then now see, okay? So what do you see here? It's a signal, right? So the statistic is hidden right here, okay? So confidence level, if I say, what was this? Here you see confirm, 68%, it's almost 70. So let's see, I'm gonna click here. You see 70% of them are gonna make to the target price. What do I have here? Entry price, $14.86, okay? How much I can make? I can make almost 4%, getting to the price 15.31. So what this software says that it does know its chances to get there, which are pretty high, confidence level 74 at the time when it crossed the line of the confirmation, but 68 is still a pretty good chance to make 4%. Okay, what is the time frame? 4 hours, if you remember. In 4 hours, it's a 1 point. Okay, 1 point. So there's quite a lot of points. So in a sense, 4 hours, it's also a good swing type of trade. It's going to go for a few days, at least 1 or 2 days. Okay, so if we look at this robot, right? So you see average duration. You see how much statistic we have? Average duration about 3 days. So it's also swing trading type of robot here presented on 4 hours. Okay. So there was another question. Just a second. What is the best pattern to predict success? I've read a lot about cap and handle. Yes, cap and handle is a good one. Sure. So if you really like only limited number of patterns, okay, and we're actually creating this type of patterns, what we're gonna do, we're gonna, and you can do it yourself with this tool. You can go here, uncheck all of them, and let's say leave only cap and handle. Then you're going to be collecting only signals. Let me click save and see what happens, okay? So you see, no, oh, yeah, sure, because it was a backward. So it's going to start finding in the feed only these patterns. You see cup and handle. Yeah, and I don't know why this one ended up here. But as you can see, you see all of them now cap and handles, okay? Yes, cap and handle, cap and handle. Only one kind of misfiring with this one. I don't know why, but theoretically we were supposed to get only more cap and handles. Okay, so if you're gonna be comfortable to trade only with this pattern, be my guest, right? So you're gonna create actually your own robot, right? And we give here pretty much the same information and record that information. What you can do, you can bookmark it and find all these patterns in bookmark patterns. Okay, or you can delete it. You can do whatever you want. You can read about this particular pattern. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one, you see, cap and handle reverse, and that's the way it works. Okay. So there was another question. Just a second. So which would look favorable for bullish? Again, what guys, come on. From mathematical perspective, you should know there is no silver bullet for everything. Okay. What we did here in these engines, we discovered that for some stocks, some patterns are good, some patterns are not good. There is not a single pattern which is good for every single stock. Okay, and there is no single bullet which is one bullet for all stocks. That does not exist. So that's the reason we're creating different setups to find the different opportunities. Okay, so for that reason we have these different robots to really say, okay, for these 300 stocks we tested and it works. Okay, so you see this one, cap and handle bullish is also good, right? But what is the confidence level? What is the statistic for this particular stock? You see, in another software, you would have to go and test and find, click here, and you here have immediately everything on the tip of your fingers, right? 60% confidence level, correct, 71%. Yes, up and handle is really good for both bullish and bearish, right? And this is a company, an automotive group, looks good, and you can make 7%. That's what it says, with the chances about 60, 70%. Okay, it's actually a good trade, right? Potentially. But here you might be overwhelmed with a number of ideas. Okay, what we did in robots, we tried to reduce the number of ideas and the analysis you have to make. Okay, so that's the difference between robots and these engines. Okay, so the same engine here I showed you, right? It's also can generate for you millions of ideas, right? How to reduce it, and that's work. Okay, so what we do, we're going to continue to release more and more robots which are going to be based on this pattern search engine, then on this real-time patterns. Okay, and other proprietary tools which are being trained. So for instance, another one is a trend prediction engine. Okay, and then we find trends. So you see, in patterns, you're not necessarily finding a trend. You're actually really looking for volatility, either increase the volatility or decrease the volatility, and then kind of analyzing what's going to happen. And then looking at the back to the history, make conclusion, and we're going to make a trade. So you should understand the following one more time. Engines do not analyze, they just present the information. Robots do analyze and then filter out based on the volume, based on whether or not it works, based on the statistics and other things. Okay, so don't be confused that here you have more work, but you can create your own robot and just follow that. Okay, so what else we have here? Instant pattern search. Okay, so here you can type pretty much anything, and let's see. I don't know if it's going to work out, but Tesla, whether or not it has any potential patterns whatsoever. Yes. Okay, so let's look at that. So what it has is channel down one, it could be for one stock, it could be several patterns, right? What the confidence, 30%, 21%, kind of be careful. You see, robots are not gonna trade on those, right? Okay, so 30%. What the point it entered, it was 53%. Okay, it is a time frame 5 minutes. Okay, it's going to give you on a different time frames. You're going to find different robots. Confidence level 1%. Okay, so when you create these tools, you see how many patterns I found for you with one click, pre-tested with all statistics for Tesla. Okay. That's how you use this instant pattern search. Okay, real-time pattern feed. I showed you bookmarks. It's clear. You put there and bookmark, and pretty much here, as you can see, we have cap and handle. Why? Because we put in a customize only cap and handle. We can increase this number of pattern types, which the neural network is going to be searching for. Okay, so it's now 6:43 on the West Coast. Guys, give me more questions. These are more questions. And okay, so yeah, that's the same. I didn't find any new questions. Okay, so let me see if I've covered everything. Yeah. So what we did, look, I explained to you the difference between AI robots and AI RTP, real-time patterns, right? I showed you that the way we started, we built this neural network and tested on the end of day, and then moved that to the intraday, okay? So I showed you for stocks, and then interesting to see that for, let's say, for Forex, and I did show you paper trade, so pretty much done, only questions left. So if I go here trading and I go for Forex, Forex works 24/7, right? And then actually it's going to be recalculating these patterns while we talk. One of the features here we implemented with added AI trend predictions for Forex, which help to trade. So for instance, you see Australian dollar to Swiss franc, and then we can see that the pattern is negative, but overall trend is positive with pretty good numbers. So we would not trade that one, right? So what the robot does, it looks some other stuff like this one, and it's going to say, no, you know what, I'm not going to trade this short position because here the trend is positive, right? So if you kind of comfortable to look at all these different opportunities, then sure, you can use this tool or you can use robots, okay? There was one question. Oh, two questions. Okay, I like questions. When you buy a robot, Nightingale, you can get it notify you when you buy or sell, or link to the robot, your broker to automatically. Yeah, we're working on automatical trades. Okay, it's not gonna come out soon, but yes, we do work. And at this moment, we do collect more and more information how our robots work. Okay, so let's look whether or not you guys understood this concept of buying a robot. Because if you buy a robot, you actually get quite a lot of stuff for free, right? Yeah, it's here. You know what? Why don't I? So how you can do it here? Let's see. I will go here and type Tickeron. I will explain to you the subscription mechanism when I'm logged out. I'm not going to be, so I'm logged out, you see, in this, in another browser. So I'm going to go to Premium, okay? I'm not going to log in. I'm going to go to Premium, and I will explain to you that what's the benefit and what is the bundle, okay? So look, you see, if you buy one robot, in fact, what you get is $60 per month to use other products. So for instance, if you really intraday, what you can do, real-time patterns for stocks, as you can see, you can get it for free. You see, it's $90. You get $60 credit. So if you click here, you see your price doesn't change. What is left is $40 to spend on other products. For instance, you can subscribe also for this trend prediction engine. I did a webcast on a trend prediction a week ago. You can look on the past webcast or in the, let's say, YouTube channel. If I click here, boom, you see, I still, nothing changed. So what happens that you kind of using this robot to really get a bundle, which is useful a tool for you, and that way you use quite a lot of stuff from us, and that helps us and you. Let me show you one trick, which typically I show, and I have time to show that too. Okay, so let me go back to, let's say, AI robot. Okay. And I'll show you one thing. Let me go here, view details. Okay, so here's the thing that when you see this blue bar, you can move whatever you click, and now you see it's active. You can click and really move to anywhere. For instance, if I click here and make a clipboard, boom, it's a copy to clipboard. I can go just to show you that it works. Paste, you see? Boom, and you see that it was on a clipboard. You can move to any other software or make a record to do whatever you want, right? So now let's say I want to create a watch list out of these three. I can move it to portfolio, create a portfolio. I can move it to screener, or you can move, you know where? You can move to this pattern. You see, from robot, you can move also anywhere. But real-time pattern stocks, okay? So if you click here, let's look at one. This was a good one. Let's say fraud, right? Or you can get two. I'll do just one. We can do both, actually. So we're now supposed to move to the real-time patterns. When I'm gonna get this, you see this one will move immediately as a 2, right? And on all time frames, it finding these patterns. If you remember, that was 4 hour. In fact, that's if I unclick. We actually can do it automatically later, okay? So now what's gonna have is these patterns which robot based its information on, right? You see it was JCOM and the Fran, these are the patterns, you see, okay? So that's a trick always with this. So for instance, here I have only 2 tickers and I can move it where? To screener. I have a webcast previously, and there's a lot of interesting things in the screener. I click and move to another module where I can get, for instance, it's here. I can, first I'm gonna find out quickly earnings calendar, when we're gonna have, you see earnings. So for that is not available, for that October 28th, okay? Immediately, boom, okay? Scorecard, whether or not it's buy or sell, okay? You see, it is good. It's kind of buy or sell. It coincides with those patterns, right? It gives fundamental analysis. I'm not going to go through that. It's called webcast and that. Technical analysis, whole webcast, how we analyze that and actually use in robots some of these indicators on top as a filter for selecting good patterns, okay? So here's the classical fundamentals, and what we did in the here we put it valuation. You see fair valued, overvalued. So this stock is overvalued, and a lot of other interesting fundamental ratings we create. okay? So let's go back. So for instance, you might say, oh, okay, actually, I don't need this trend prediction engine. I actually unclick and I'm gonna get a screener, boom. And you have another $20 to spend, okay? So for instance, you trade in additional Forex, you get 3 products for free simply by buying 1 robot, okay? So let's assume you decide to follow 2 robots. And by the way, again, one more time, if you buy 1 robot, it doesn't mean you stuck with one only robot. You can switch while the market is closed. You can switch from 1 robot to another robot. You can follow 1 robot at any time. You can review closed trades anytime, okay? And you can review open trades anytime if market is closed. Only you get a signal out of the 1 robot if you buy 1. If you buy 2, you get 2. If you get, let's say, 3, so here, plus, if you buy, let's say, 2 robots, okay, so then you get $120 credit, so you get more products. You get, here is a 60, then you can get trend prediction engine and this one, boom. So with all this, it's the same, but you've got pretty much everything for free. And now you have this ability to move to any module, analyze, get used to that, and then use it, okay? One more trick. If you buy any, at least one, okay, then you get intermediate level for free, okay? So this one is included if you buy any. So that way, if you click here, nothing is gonna change. It's gonna, again, the same. So you get an extra $15 immediately as soon as you buy or at least 1 product, okay? So let me unclick, okay? Let's assume you buy only this. You see, you still get this, what you get for that, membership, plus all our buy-sell recommendations, which are here, okay? Where are they? You click home, and then it's a good stuff, actually. I'll show you. So you get here, and let's stick with Tesla, which is these days popular. Okay, you kind of, in this window, you type Tesla, okay? And then you get all signals and buy-sell recommendation. Let's see what the AI does on a relatively mid-term horizon. It is a buy. So even though you see the pattern was negative, but in some of the robots, we checking this one, okay, it moved to buy from this kind of quite a ride. Let's look here. You see how it happens? It went down. Now it's kind of bouncing back. There's a lot of volume right now here, and there's a fight going on, okay? And that's a scorecard, right? Here about the group analysis, you see electric cars, 3 stocks, motor vehicles, 15, okay? And now you see here's the correlation to these groups. That's where we do group analysis, but that's another webcast, okay? So now it's 6:55, guys. I have 4 minutes. And this webcast is going to be over because Zoom is going to turn it off, okay? So please give me more questions. Okay, other robots will notify you of entries and exits. Yes, okay? The notification is going to tell you entries and exits. We actually added the ability to get emails. Okay, we're working right now on SMS, show notification. Yes, okay. So let's go quickly to the robots. Okay, just a second, I'll show you notifications. Okay, so this is a robot, right? So you go here, push notification. You see it's off for me. You click here, notification on. And then what you have to check one more place because you could have turned it off for the entire website. Unfortunately, it's possible we cannot control, but we can control it only here. You go to the personal profile, okay? And then let's see what I have. You here have notification options, and you see browser push notification also must be green. If it is not green, then for the entire site, you will not get any push notifications, okay? So it should be a particular robot, and this one should be, here is fixing, maybe you could have clicked no notifications. Quite often people do that, okay? So I have a couple of minutes left. What robots and packages suggest for the beginner? Okay, for the beginner, it's a good question. Okay, let's look. I really, to start, you know what, for the beginner I recommend? Start using paper trades, okay? So for the beginner, you can do the following. Really, guys, if you are really beginner and you have no clue, use our free trade signals, which are based on the classical indicators. Use that, make a paper trade, okay? Get yourself trained. I really don't want you to lose any money. But if you get familiar with yourself, you want to try it for free, do it for free first with the free signals. Then, if you kind of feel yourself comfortable, you start trading, okay? Then you see your track record in the paper trades. Then from the premium, I would recommend to start from, let's say, robot is going to give you, just start with one, and then get an explanation in patterns, okay? And get a trend prediction engine, okay? So that way, you're going to be able to really start and view and continue to do it with the paper trades, okay? Do it first with paper trades. Don't jump to the money. Be patient. The patience here is the game. You are against serious guys. Our technology is going to help you, okay? One more question, and I'm afraid it's going to be shut down. Paper trades meaning sandbox. No, paper trades, it's right here. As you see, it's right here. It's your own paper trade, which is the track record of what you've been trading. You see, I have some of the open trades, and this is your like a simulation of a brokerage account. You see, this is my track record. My average duration is 5 days, okay? Annualized return is 65 kind of percent. This is pretty much equal. This is my statistics, you see. And this coming from, you see, this came from RTP, copied. This one from scanner, from news. So I've been trading that. Market is down. I'm down a little bit. Forgot about these things. I should have paid attention, okay? So that's what I mean by paper trades. Click here and learn how to make the paper trades. And that way you're going to be better off. But then if you feel comfortable, if you get used to the tools, then go to the real money, okay? So my guess is that we're going to be shut down, and I'm going to make kind of a saying you goodbye, good luck. If any question, next Thursday, come, ask more questions, subscribe, use our customer support for help, and good luck to study and learn our system, okay? For whatever reason, they're not shutting down. I'm going to take another question. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, good luck. Don't hesitate. You can actually get some private lessons right here in Academy. This is a lesson 1 by 1. You can subscribe, schedule, and then I'm going to go to very specific questions with you and so, or some other people, or if you request that I should do it, I will do it, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna then stop sharing, and then good luck. Don't hesitate to ask more questions. So stop sharing. And then I'm gonna be finishing this session, and goodbye, guys.